So my name is Marc Koska and I run an organisation called the Safepoint Trust based in the south of England. The mission of the Safepoint Trust is to stop the reuse of syringes in the world and to stop obviously the transmission of viruses that occurs when syringes are reused. It's actually the 9th biggest cause of death in the world today. And what makes it even more tragic is that that is being carried out by healthcare workers. So at Safepoint, with my experience over the last 29 years in syringes and unsafe syringes, I've been able to create a new type of campaign. And the campaign is holistic. So we start at the top. In other words, we need guidance from the World Health Organization. We need a policy in place which sets out the rules of the game. This is a little bit like putting in safety belts in a car. And you don't just fit them in the car and then hope that people are going to put them on. You need to educate people, and then you need to motivate people with a policeman and a notebook and giving you a fine if he sees you not wearing the safety belt. And in the same way, we're going to move towards that type of behaviour change campaign. We've just formed an alliance with Sampson, and we are now working on 2 pilot countries to start in January, using Sampson smartphones with the relevant software on to encourage the healthcare worker to not only be trained to the standard of whichever particular product they're being supplied with, but to be able to use them correctly and efficiently, but also to encourage the patient to understand that there's a new process in play, and to get the patient then to validate that procedure by voting on the smartphone. Happy face, sad face is, if you like, a step up from a 6-figure code, which may be punched in wrong. So big data is going to then find its way all the way back up the supply line. So in reverse order, the patient pushes the icon on the smartphone, the healthcare worker gains a vote, the Minister of Health gets credit for putting in a successful program. The manufacturer gets data because they now know that 1 million syringes were used last month, so now they can get ready to supply another million. The funders know that their money is being spent well and in an efficacious way, and the WHO know that they're doing their job on a global basis and can learn from that for the next global campaign that they're going to be able to do. My history was I started very young, 29 years ago, reading a newspaper article and a prediction that one day syringes would be a major cause of the spread of viruses like HIV. And I spent 3 years looking very deeply into the problem rather than into a solution. Because until I understood the problem, there was no way I was going to be able to put forward a credible solution. Once I had understood that, I realized that there was one weak point in the whole system, and that was a particular point in the manufacturing process. And if I could put a change into that, it would be so low cost it wouldn't affect any other of the parameters in the whole supply chain. So when you come in and you say, look, I'm going to try and sell you my design and you can buy it on a license, one of the immediate reactions is that why should I spend money on re-equipping my factory or even expanding my factory, because if they're not being reused, I have to supply twice as many. There's a very long payback on syringe equipment, traditionally 10 years, whereas on other products, disposable products, it's 18 months. So that investment is very poorly paid back to a manufacturer. So they need very compelling reasons to move forward, and hence we're sandwiching them, if you like, between supply and demand. In a year's time, I think the best situation that I could foresee is that the collaboration with Sampson has moved forwards. It's working for injections, safe injections. But I think the most exciting prospect is that we can use those same phones to do other programs. Because once the hardware is in the hands of these terminals, the healthcare workers, we can actually use that phone to do 100 other things. And that, when we see that come into reality, I think that will be a very satisfying day.